Hey guys, Phil here with Custom Offsets. We're going to show you how to wash your polished or chrome wheels and give you kind of an in-depth look to our polished and chrome wheel shine kit. So to start things off, I'll just kind of go through the process step by step. So if you've got chrome or polished wheels, what you're going to want to do is, first of all, if they're dirty and they got road grime on there, just go ahead and spray those off and get them well saturated. All right, so now that those are all rinsed off, what I do is called the 2-bucket method. So we have a dirty bucket and a clean bucket. This gray one is my dirty bucket. So I'll kind of explain this a little bit more. Essentially, it's the same product in both buckets. It's the Dirty Lip wheel shampoo. You only need about a capful per bucket. And then you're just gonna want to evenly kind of coat this wheel with the Dirty Lip wheel shampoo. So you're not pressing hard, you're not rubbing in any dirt, because there still can definitely be some dirt on the wheel that you didn't get off when you just sprayed it. So you're just gonna kind of slop that on there. Again, I'm not pressing hard, I'm just kind of trying to cover the surface with soap. So very light pressure, but a good amount of that Dirty Lip wheel shampoo. So once that's evenly coated and you think you've got soap all over, you can go back to your hose and then just rinse this off. Now with each kit, you should be able to get about 20 washes out of a kit. So 20 times 4, about 80 wheels. All obviously depends on what size wheels you're running. The bigger the wheel, the more product it takes. So now a majority of that dirt should be off of the wheel. You can move over to your clean bucket. Remember, this one's a dirty bucket, so it's got dirty water in it from when I used this microfiber before. Go ahead and give your microfiber a good rinse. Get any sediment out of here. And then it should be safe to use. So again, Dirty Lip wheel shampoo in this bucket as well. And now this time, you're pressing a little harder and you're really cleaning everywhere on this wheel. Going all around, making sure you got soap into every crevice. I still always make sure to use a generous amount because, like I mentioned before, you never want to get to an area that's dry and be rubbing on it if it doesn't have at least some barrier between your microfiber and the wheel. All right, so once that's done, again, grab your hose and spray this off. So now that that's clean and you've sprayed off all the soap, you're gonna wanna wait for that to dry before you go to the next stage. So if you're in the shade, you can kind of just let it air dry. That works really good. Otherwise, you can use a leaf blower or you can dry it off with a clean microfiber. But you don't want to let it sit in the direct sun because that's how you're going to end up with water spots on here. So we'll let that dry and come back and then finish off this wheel. So now that your wheel is pretty much dry, you can move on to the next step. Now before I actually polish the wheels and use the floss gloss, I like to use the Back to Black first to bring that black look back to the tire. So this is really easy to use, pretty straightforward. You just spray it along the tire and just evenly coat it. And then you can let this soak in. So you'll see the reason why I do this is because when you spray it on the tire, you usually get a little bit of overspray onto the wheel. That's okay. Again, you can just take that microfiber, just kind of wipe that extra off because you're gonna come over this and polish it up anyway. So I'm just getting it off the lip of the wheel and the very edge on the rim here. And then while that's on there soaking in, that's when you can begin the polishing process. Now to answer a couple questions, there's different types of wheels that look like this. So this is a true chrome plated wheel. So this is gonna be something that you do want to use the floss gloss on. You can also use this on polished aluminum wheels. So like your American Forces or Specialty Forged, those forged wheels, you can use the floss gloss as well. Now it's not a very abrasive metal polish, so you're not gonna get a real deep polish out of those. It's more used to clean it. It's a very light abrasive. And that's why it's safe to use on both chrome and polished wheels. If you have a PVD chrome is actually more similar to a powder coated finish than it is to a chrome finish. So on something like that, you're going to want to use the painted wheel shine kit with the shoe shine rather than the floss gloss. I think that should answer those questions. So floss gloss, the method that I use. There's two different kinds of microfibers out there too. So there's like these cheap ones that you can get at Walmart for like less than $1 each. Or they sell these, which are much larger and they're much softer as well. You can kind of just tell the difference when you feel them. And these are way closer together, where these have kind of like some bigger strands. The fibers are further apart. So it lets dirt and debris kind of fall out of there so they don't collect anything. Whereas these are almost, as you run your hands over them, they're kind of clingy and like stick to your hands a little bit because they just catch on a lot of things. So you don't want to use the cheapest microfiber you can find. If you're spending money on chrome or polished wheels, you might as well use a better microfiber. They're only a couple bucks, so it's worth it to save your wheels. So how to use the floss gloss. I just fold over my microfiber a couple times to give myself a nice pad. And you can either apply this directly to the wheel or put it on your microfiber. I think it's a little more accurate if you do it on here. So I just put a little bit on there. It doesn't take much because we're gonna come by and do each spot. So this goes directly onto the wheel, and you're just gonna kind of cloud it up and get this product all over the lip of your wheel. So again, this is light pressure, and I'm just swirling it around because this is a polish, remember. So you can see then that entire wheel is then covered in the floss gloss. So it's really got a hazy look to it right now because all that product is on there. So now I'm gonna flip to the other side of my microfiber that has not had any product on it. This is just a dry side. Now you're gonna go in with heavy pressure and your arms are gonna get tired because you're gonna buff the crap out of this wheel to bring back that shine. So you can see right here the difference. This is something I just buffed off right now, and it's almost like a mirror finish on there. I don't know if the camera can see this angle, but like you can clearly see my hand in the reflection as compared to the rest of the wheel that still has that haze on it. I guess I could make a solid line here. The difference between this and this. So this, there's a reflection, this, there's not. This is still covered in floss gloss. This has just been polished. Now this wheel does have some pitting on it. This is kind of a beater truck. It gets ran through the winter, so it has some damage on the chrome. This kit doesn't reverse that. There's not really a whole lot you can do other than replating a wheel if you do have pitting, but you can still clean around that just fine. So now that your wheel is all polished up, you're about done with that. You can kind of come back and take a look at the tire. You'll see that back to black has soaked in. The back to black is like a new rubber look rather than that greasy tire shine that you'll see where it flings off the tire and gets your vehicle all dirty. This is made to soak in and just kind of restore that new tire look rather than give it that really high gloss shine. If there is any extra on there, you can take one of the cheap microfibers, just kind of dab it off or swirl it around and get this all evenly coated. And the back to black is actually good for multiple things. So not only does it work on tires, but you can use it to clean like interior plastics as well. And then it works really good on the exterior plastics too. So basically any black surface other than your black paint, you don't want to use it on that. So the bumper covers on the Hummer are black plastic, and you can see they're kind of grayed out. If you just use back to black on there, you'll see this brings back that deep, rich black look. So now you have this compared to this. Like taking a look up here, you can really see probably an obvious difference that this is all grayed out. Hit it with some back to black, and just like that, comes back and looks good. And this lasts for a little while. Like any product though, to keep it looking like this, you're gonna wanna reapply it every once in a while. So hopefully that gives you a little more in-depth look on the Chrome and Polish Wheel Shine Kit. If you had any questions on it, that should answer them, or if you just needed to know how do I use this stuff, Again, that should answer your question for you. If you guys do have any other questions though, feel free to drop them in the comments below and we'll do our best to answer them or make you another video. That's it. Peace.